Welcome back, designers, to Silvia Designs. I'm Kat, and today I have a Valentine's Day design for you. If you like working with gemstones and pearls, you are going to love this. We are going to take our traditional wrapped wire loop and twist it on its head. I'll show you what I mean. All of the items you are about to see are available by clicking those links down in the description box. Before we dive in, please take this moment to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you can see my weekly videos about the art and business of jewelry design. Also follow me over on Instagram and TikTok where I have some extra tutorials, and you can follow me there at Silvia Designs. All right, let's get into our Valentine's Day design.
What we are going to be making today is a wrapped wire loop component that has a little something extra around it. We are going to twist the wire so it lays across the bead. Now let's take a look at this up close. Here we have a finished design, and you can see that I have that wrapped wire loop, but I have that wire that's coming right across the center of that bead, just giving it a little something decorative and a little something unique. Now you can see down here that this is a lovely little rose quartz piece, and I just have a wrapped wire loop on that. So we don't have the wire going across this piece. It's really just the focal on that beautiful little Preciosa pearl at the top. Now take a look here. You can see the same design. You can see how it just adds a little something extra to the top bead, kind of drawing it in. So that's what it would look like if you used the same two beads. Again, we have that little wrapped wire loop there at the bottom. Now to really showcase this, I wanted to use some natural potato pearls, and I made a little bracelet. So you can see that I just connected each of the little components, but now you really get a chance to see how it looks with that little piece of wire going across. It sort of almost looks like the whole thing is one piece of wire, and it's just continually wrapped and wrapped and wrapped and wrapped. So this is a bracelet design that I did, and I just want you to really take a look at just the little something extra this adds to it. Now this one here was done with a 24 gauge wire, so it's a little bit thinner. Today I'm going to be showing you the component that I made for that other earring, and I'm going to be using a 22 gauge wire. Okay, so I have my little piece of wire here. Now this is probably a little bit longer than what you're going to need, but I have a nice long piece of wire there, and I also have some ball head pins here that I'm going to be using. These are 8mm Preciosa pearls. I have some little earring hooks here. And then for tools, what we have is we have our wire straightening pliers, which are always good to have on hand if you do have to straighten your wire, if it's just come off the coil. I already kind of took care of that. I'll go over that really quick for you though. If you are unfamiliar with that with that tool, I'll show you how that works. And then I have some round nose pliers, which you're going to need. I have a pair of chain nose pliers, and I have my flush cutters. So very traditional tool setup here to create this design. But again, this is a nice and easy way to elevate your wrapped wire loops to give it a little something extra. All right, so if you're ready, let's go ahead and dive right into making this component. First things first, I want to take my little piece of wire here, and I'm going to place it in my chain nose pliers right here. And if you need to use your wire straightening pliers, you just grip it and kind of run it across your wire to straighten out any kinks that may be there. We want a nice straight piece of wire. You can do that a couple of times. Like I said, if it has just come off the spool, we want a nice straight piece of wire. If you are new to doing this, I recommend having an extra long piece of wire while you are testing this method, because it's easier to kind of grip with your fingers while you are learning how to do this wrapped wire loop nice and tight. So I have about, I'd say this is 6 to 8 inches or so. Okay, so we are going to come to one end of our wire, and you can come pretty close to the top there, because all we're going to do is we are just going to bend that backwards at our nice 90-degree angle. A little further, there we go. Wrap it up and over the top and wrap it around to create our simple wire loop. Now go ahead and remove your pliers and come in and give that a nice trim with your flush cutters. Now at this point, if you look to the side, that loop is a little bit open. So what I like to do is come in with the chain nose pliers and just flatten that out and grip right over top, making sure we have what looks like a really long eye pin. Okay, So this is where we start. So I didn't trim off very much. I'll just show you the scrap that I cut off. So we came really close to the edge. There's our little scrap right there. And I'll set that aside. Now we're going to come to this side and slip on one of our Preciosa pearls. Okay? And normally we'd let that fall all the way to the bottom. But what we want to do is, remember, we're going to have a wrap on both sides here. So you can let it fall to the bottom, but keep in mind that as we do this, we need to make sure there's extra space. So let's say I wanted to just do a wrapped wire loop on this side. I would probably come much, much closer with my pliers. But because I want to scooch my pliers up, and you can, this is again where you'd want to practice this so you know exactly how far it is. That bead is going to slide up there because we need to leave room for the wraps on both sides of this bead. Okay, so it's going to look like you're really a lot higher than normal. That's okay. That's what you want because we need to accommodate that wrap on the other side. Okay, so we come in and we're going to do that loop again. So go ahead and pull your pliers back towards you, creating that nice angle. Wrap it up and over the top. We're going to rotate our pliers and we're going to bring this around nice and tight. Now this is why you'd want that nice long piece of wire here. So you can either come in and you can grip with your chain nose pliers if you need, or you can just use your fingers. And what we're going to do is we're going to do 3 wraps. So we're going to wrap to the back, and 2, and 3, nice and tight. Okay. And now you see I'm going to scooch this bead up. See, we have that space on the other side that we need. Now you need to push the bead with your thumb towards the top while simultaneously bringing this wire across and over the top of that bead, just like so. So you're creating this sort of orb, to that wire. You kind of see what's happening there? Okay. So now we created that and we want to keep wrapping the same way. So we always keep going the same way here. So now we want to come to this side and make sure that that wire is nice and close to the bead as we do our first wrap. And we do our second wrap. And continue with that third and final wrap. Bring it to the back. And we can release our pliers now. Come in, trim off that wire. And if you need to, go ahead and give it a nice little pinch with your chain nose pliers there. And now I'm just pressing on that and pressing on this, making sure everything is nice and secure. Okay, so now you can see that we have our nice little bead with our twist on it. Now, the thing to keep in mind about this component is one side, the side that was the second loop that we made, is now a closed wrapped wire loop. So you can't get into that. But the cool secret is that if you go to the first side, you can simply open and close this like you would a simple wire loop. So this is where we can attach it to, say, we can attach it to an earring hook, or we can attach it to another component. So let's go ahead and finish this earring. I just want to show you another option here. I like using the ball head pins. I think it adds just a little something fun. So if you wanted to just come in here and do a quick wrapped wire loop with this one, we absolutely can. And I'll show you what it looks like when you use your pliers instead of your fingers there. So you come in, grip, grip, grip. 1, 2, and 3. Nice and easy. Sometimes using the pliers is quite a bit easier, so keep that in mind. All right, and I'm just going to tuck my little tail in there, just a little pinch. Boop, there we go. All right, so now I can slip that on here and close up that loop. And what's cool is that because it is a wrapped wire loop, you actually almost can't even tell that it, was an open loop at some point. And then if you wanted to finish it off with our earring hook here, we're just going to bend that back ever so slightly. Only ever bend the wire as big as you need to slip on, whatever component you're working with. So there we go. We have our little wrapped wire loop and our twisted wrapped wire loop there. And I love it. It just adds just a little bit of something extra. Again, if you want to see this bracelet up close, I'm just going to sort of turn it in my fingers just so you can see how it looks, and it's just a little something neat. Also, imagine you could do this with gold wire on top of, let's say, like a white pearl or something like that. I love this. It, you know, for me, this is perfect for if I want to do like bridal jewelry or bridesmaids jewelry, or even Christmas jewelry. Imagine if this was just your extra little technique and you did that in some beautiful Christmas colors. I think you could have a lot of wonderful design ideas. So this is the length of the scrap that I have. So you saw, you know, what I was working with. So in my opinion, practice this with craft wire. My go-to is artistic wire. That's what this is here. And I think it's really good if you are practicing. If you do want to step this up one day and do it with like sterling silver wire, I fully support that. But try to practice with that kind of scrap craft wire. Not that craft wire is scrap, but it is definitely much more cost effective when you are learning a new technique like this. Okay, let me know in the comments, you know, what do you think about this? Is this a design that you're going to try? Is, you know, do you like it? Do you hate it? I don't care. I want to know. All right, thank you for watching. And again, let me know in the comments what you think.
Thanks so much for watching, designers. Let me know in the comments what you think of this design. And remember, everything you've just seen here is available by clicking those links in the description box. Before you go, make sure you are subscribed here and you follow me over on Instagram and TikTok at Silvia Designs. Thanks again. Happy Valentine's Day, and I'll see you in the next video.